came here in context. It was around 2001. I came right before the towers got hit. Jay-Z and Nas, that was the conversation. So I come in the middle of this heated rap battle or this heated confrontation between two amazing artists. I have to learn about his come up, me delving into hip hop culture because I love music, really all music, but like hip hop culture is such an amazing, fascinating culture. Like,
Yo, what it is? It's your boy Mike Geesh, and you know I'm back again. We got some stuff going on, man. Them Epstein files has been released. I say it again. Them Epstein files have been released, or at least a portion of them have been. I don't know how much it is, but they seem to be just leaking them out one at a time. So in this particular file, as it relates to hip hop culture, Jay-Z and Pusha T, and somebody else have been said to been doing something on these Epstein files. I think Jay-Z, somebody said that he sexually assaulted them. So, hey, it's going down, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Jay-Z did anything. Look, man, this is what I feel. I feel like when you get millions of dollars and you are a famous rapper, it's no telling what they've done behind the scenes and parties and all that stuff. It's no telling what any of these people done. You know what I'm saying? It's just no telling, man. Some of these people have probably murdered people outside of the gangster drill rappers that we know, King Von and all them niggas who we know done kill people, the Baby and, Gucci Man and stuff. But, in Hollywood and all that, man, might have been some murders happening that done got covered up that we'll never know about. So it's all type of stuff in this evil, sick cesspool of rich and famous and stardom and all that stuff, man. You know, it goes down. I mean, you see what happened to Diddy. You think Diddy the only one? That what y'all think? Diddy is the only one doing some crazy stuff around here? No, there's plenty of them. But we got AKADEMIK'S right now. He's speaking on the whole Jay-Z thing, and I think Nicki Minaj was talking about him and said something about him, which would be crazy because, her husband and her brother. But anyway, let's get back to AKADEMIK'S.
fall in love instantly with a lot of his even previous works, even at that time. I fall in love with Reasonable Doubt. Fall in love with The Blueprint. Fall in love with Volume 2. I fall in love with the idea of a guy whose mantra was, they didn't want to sign me, so I created the label. I took that to help establish my media brand. If Hot 97 and Power 105 don't want me, I'm going to create my own media company where I'm the star. I think it worked out fine for me. And I will say partly is because if I looked at a motto and a blueprint, all pun intended, that Jay-Z created. But I'm saying, I don't know too much about these stories that, these back channel stories. When I got told about Diddy, they said Diddy tried an actor. They said there's this actor, and by the way, I don't want to mention that actor's name, but that actor was never the same. But he was super hot, pause, when he first got on. They said Diddy invited him to a certain place, and Diddy tried him. Maybe this actress told the story. I got to look, but I don't want to just throw a name out there. And I was just, stop it.
See, that's the whole thing that's the problem with me, man. These folks be trying you. It's like, bruh. You trying me, dog. You trying my manhood. Like, you coming up to me. Like, how do you even know? It's just like the whole thing with, if y'all heard about Terry Crews. You know who Terry Crews is, man. Big ass nigga. Black. First saw him on the damn Denzel Washington movie. I can't even think about it. Training Day. First saw him on Training Day. And then he was on Friday After Next. You know what I'm saying? Not Day, but whatever his name was. You know what I'm saying? So, when he was in a party, he said a white executive director, whoever it was, just walked up to him and just grabbed his nuts. Just grabbed his junk, bro. And I'm like, these folks got the audacity to just come up to you like that, like it's just all good. Now, I will say, Terry Crews, you have played some questionable roles. You know what I'm saying? Where you was, seeming like you was open, I'll say. So, but still though, for you to just walk up to this guy and just do that to anybody, just walk up and grab somebody, you crazy, you would have died. I'm knocking you out. I'm stabbing you up. That's what's gonna happen, bro. That's what's gonna happen if you walk up touching my junk. Is you crazy? That's just instant psycho. Instant psycho. Switch gone. I don't care where we at. We can be in the Oscars, even though Will Smith beat me to it. But we can be wherever, bro. It don't matter. If you walk up and grab my shit, yeah, that's death. So, anyway, let's get back to it.
That never happened. And I remember they looked at me because I was the naive non-industry guy like, oh, you don't know, do you? You don't know. Years to come, I realized I didn't know. So all I'm calling up on is my peers, the people who grew up maybe a little bit older than me. They covered Jay-Z, front and back, the Elliott Wilsons. And let me not, I don't want to call no more names. I'm going to stop with the name calling. But these are people who I've gotten my information about this guy from. I'm not calling none of y'all to tear his legacy down, besmirch his name. But are any of these conversations worth having? Or do we have to sit by and wait till possibly an indictment hits? Or are you just scared of the conversation at all? Not saying nothing is there, but again, when I see people unwilling to speak about the conversation, hey, was Jay on some creepy shit? Was he one of those guys who would try to get a pretty girl that may have a little bit of talent, kind of groom her and, try to get with her while she was maybe underage and kind of because do y'all remember the story of Cassie? Now, granted, I believe Cassie was overage. But that story in itself is a little bit sick. If you guys don't know the whole story. I was telling my friend about it today. I was giving a little soliloquy on, hey.
That Cassie story is crazy how she came in the game. But big bank take little bank. That's all that was. But like I said before, man, a lot of these niggas have money. They be in the game. They got all this power. A young little 18, 19-year, hopefully it's not 15, 16. But I would say at least 18 years old. If you 26, 27, she 18, 19, she going. And they going to get her. That's just how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's going to be. Especially in the 90s. Man, come on. Let's keep it going, though.
Never bring a girl around your boss consistently. Especially if your girl's bad. At a point, your girl going to start looking at how your boss moves and how you move, how you answer to him, and that might not turn out well. I used the idea or the story of Cassie and Diddy as an example. Cassie really got brought into this industry by Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie saw this young girl. She was pretty. They had whatever they had. She wanted to get into the music business. When she wanted to get in the music business, you had Jay-Z. No, not Jay-Z. Sorry. Freudian slip. You had Ryan Leslie bring Cassie. You could imagine. He's like, yo, I know everybody. I know Puff. I know this. I know that. He brings Cassie around Puff. Cassie's probably seen a different type of lifestyle, different type of money, a different type of opulence, a different type of success. It is Diddy over the top. 15 people waiting on him. Best suites, penthouse suites everywhere. Limousine riding, jet flying. It is opulence at the highest level. Ain't no more food and beverage. This is exquisite shit. Over time, what happens is that Diddy plotted on Cassie. He wanted her. He created scenarios and situations that supposedly him and Cassie was going to work on music. Think about it, what we know about Cassie now. Cassie was a pretty girl. She looked good, but her musical talent, she sounded like a dying goat. Diddy wanted her.
We all know this true. We all know Cassie. Ain't nobody never said, "Hey, play that cat." Oh, but that Cassie fine. That Cassie can sing. She on it. Man, nobody ain't never said nothing like that about Cassie. So we know what the whole play was, and that what the play be. These dudes with all this money, they see a young girl and she ain't got no. Even if she do got talent, they still trying to smash. But especially if she don't got talent, it's like if she don't got talent, they don't even have any. I can't even make any money off you unless I really, really dress it up. So they thinking about sex, smashing off the rip.
Diddy created the idea in her mind of this young woman chasing a dream. Hey, I think you're musically talented. All while he wanted to pursue her to get him in his harem. He was dating at that time Kim Porter. He creates a situation. We got to go to Miami to go do some shit in music. It's just me and you, though. This is business. Your boyfriend can't come. Leave him at home. They go to Miami. Diddy tries her. Diddy kisses her. She says she didn't know how to feel about it because she had a man. She's actively cheating. Diddy wines and dines her, takes her here, takes her there, gives her everything that the lifestyle she was chasing would present. Gives her everything. Over time, the story comes to pass. Ryan Leslie's cut out the picture. She's now Diddy's girl. There's conversations to be had about that. This happens all the time. The guy who wants to fuck the girl basically acts like he's into her career after he's donkey fucking her off the fucking, the mixer table. Who cares about the song? That's his girl now. That's his bitch. That's one of them. If we think about L.A. Reid and some of the accusations that we heard later about him, that was exactly what they were saying. What is tantamount to Harvey Weinstein in the movie industry, where he would look at young actresses who were beautiful. Maybe the talent wasn't always there, and some of them it was. He would use his power and the fact that he could make or break their career to get them in compromising positions. Hey, let's go work on a script in my penthouse. 11:30, they walk in, jazz music is on. Hey, the script is on the table, but let's get a couple glasses of wine. Let me hear about you and your life. 2 hours later, he's getting a little eggplant sucked on.
Smashing, man. I don't understand women how they fall for that. Or I would say make it seem like it's not going to be that. Like, especially if you 18, 19, 20, I can kind of understand. But once you get in that early 20 on up, lady, if it's not in a professional studio setting, and even if it is in that, you're still gonna get tried. But especially if it's not if it's in somebody's house at 8:00 at night, he trying to smash. Now you have to make a decision if you're gonna smash him or not. But this has been going on since forever, man. And Jay-Z might have got caught up in it. Jay-Z might have got caught up in it. We don't know. But his name is in the files. He hasn't really talked about it yet, but I'm enjoying what we're talking about right now because we're going over the whole music industry and what goes on behind the scenes. And nobody really is having this conversation, but Akademiks is. So let's keep listening. We're going to wrap it up in a second.
That's a conversation we should talk about. No, people don't think that type of, they talk about, we're in this woke era where people talk about rape culture or, all this whatever culture, toxic culture. And we talk about the behavior that people might exude that kind of contributes to that. Right? How come it's cool when to talk about it when they get caught, but maybe not before? When Bill Cosby gets caught for, supposedly hitting them chicks, he was Steph Curry with the Quaaludes, the Spanish fly. Everybody acted like, oh, shit, he was doing that. Then you hear, and I've heard, Bill Cosby wasn't the only one. He's just the one who died for everybody else's sins. All of them niggas was hitting them chicks with the Spanish fly and the Quaaludes. They were basically using their power and influence and also like drugging chicks. That was
Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor. Who else was back then, man? Probably John Willis. All them boys back then, man. Isley Brothers, Jane Brown. Who else? David Ruffin. David Ruffin was on it. You know David Ruffin. Rick James, come on, man. Shit was going down.
Was a culture, but we don't hear much conversations about it. Let's get back to music. Let's get back to the Jay-Z conversation. The conversation I want to have is, well, we see what happened with L.A. Reid. Well, we see what happened or what's accused of, but with Russell Simmons. We see what is accused, right, of with the R. Kellys. We see what's accused of with Diddy. I think we've heard Jay-Z's name a little bit too much for us not to talk about, hey, listen, are any of these things true? Are any of these things just completely made up by a random caller that happens to fall in the Epstein file? Are these things just completely out of the scope that we should just say, this is illogical. This is just someone, this is the Matrix targeting him. Or perhaps should we say, let's go back and evaluate what this guy did. Now, I understand there's a lot of people that's running what I call interference. And I love watching media run interference for powerful men. Because I always think, damn, what business deal they got coming up? You know, love Charlemagne, idol of mine. Let me remove the word idol because it feels like I idolize. Like, idol. It is, right? Like, I look up to Charlemagne. I've always done that. But I don't expect Charlemagne to have a neutral or even have a qualitative conversation about Jay-Z's past and Jay-Z's history in the music industry. Why? Charlemagne was also pretty much caught handing the cookie jar in the casino saga where Jay-Z was trying to get a bid. Charlemagne showed up and gave riveting speeches about how the council members should vote to approve this because Jay-Z's vision is great and this and third. So there's some synergy and alignment there between not necessarily Roc Nation and Charlemagne, but the entities that are trying to push and put Jay-Z in a certain place and Charlemagne. Is that paid? I don't know. Maybe they're just good friends. Now, even though back in the day, there was a conversation that Jay-Z may have gotten Charlemagne fired from Philly radio after some criticisms. I don't know what's going on, though. I just want to have conversations. The conversations just seem to, I just want to have conversations. So I'm asking really my peers. I'm like, hey, listen, I wasn't really around because I'd say what I've heard. And I have heard whatever, but you guys lived it. You guys had, it's like Wendy Williams when Wendy Williams came out way back and said, let me just tell you the truth. There's a few gay motherfuckers in here. We call them homo thugs, okay? She said Diddy was gay, and everybody felt like she was a liar. But you know why? And this is where I bring Charlemagne back into this. And again, this is not a call out for Charlemagne. I love Charlemagne. What Charlemagne has always told me, one of the most valuable advice he told me, which was told to him by Wendy, and this is why I say Wendy is the queen. You're either going to be loyal to the industry or the people. You can't be loyal to both. And if you're loyal to the people, you're going to have uncomfortable conversations that maybe the industry won't like you to have and might make you an enemy.
Boy, that's some words right there. They might make you an enemy if you try to stand with your people. It's real though, man. Yeah, I know we went a little long, but I like this conversation because not many people are talking about this. This is something where, women have been taken advantage of for a very long time in the industry, in the entertainment industry. And we don't speak about it as much. The Me Too movement kind of started bringing it out, but it still doesn't get spoken about as much. And I think the problem is, and academics actually said this, we don't have the conversation before. We always try to have it after it comes out. So it's cool as long as the person doesn't get caught. Then people start making their associations or disassociations. I don't need no new friends. That's how I feel. But yeah, so that's academics on Jay-Z. These talks that his accuser came out within the Epstein file, said she called the police and she got records and all that stuff. So we don't know, man. Hey man, there ain't no telling what these boys done did behind the scenes, man. Ain't no telling. But I know he got Beyonce now and done had her for a while, and hey man, maybe she knows. What has she done? We can dig deeper and deeper because these women done did stuff too. It's all demonic and evil at the end of the day. All right, y'all. That's all I got for y'all today. I'm your boy, Mike Geesh. Peace.